Today on 70 Years of Bestop, we're out here in Moab, Utah, doing some four-wheeling in this old Jeep that one of you is gonna take home. So I'm about to start a whole new series on the channel where we're gonna shoot episodes with this old Jeep where I'm going to find people who are kind of icons in the off-road industry, four-wheeling. Some of them have been around for ages, some of them are just new on the scene. We're gonna let them drive this Jeep and we're gonna go have conversations. We're gonna go four-wheeling, kind of talk about the industry, off-roading, Jeeps, and this is actually gonna be called 70 Years of Bestop. Bestop's coming on board because it has been 70 years since Bestop has been in business. Plus, this Jeep is 70 years old. This is a 1954 Jeep CJ3B. The 1950s was a pretty cool time. You could go to your local Jeep dealership and drive home in a brand new flat fender Jeep. And then you could take this Jeep and go out exploring, find your own riches. In fact, this little town that we go to every year called Moab in Utah was kind of put on the map by a guy with a flat fender Jeep who went out exploring and found uranium, the fuel of the future. Next thing you know, there was a uranium boom in Moab. Nowadays, people come to Moab to go four-wheeling in their old Jeeps or their new Jeeps. But another thing that happened in the early 1950s was a guy named Tom Bradley. He had an upholstery shop in Boulder, Colorado. And he looked at these Jeeps and he probably drove his Jeep like this in the snow and was like, we should put a top on this thing. And that was the birth of a company called Bestop. For 70 years, Bestop's been making tops for Jeeps, whether it's old flat fenders or brand new Jeeps. In fact, if you go to a dealership today and buy a brand new Wrangler and you order the soft top, that soft top is still made by Bestop. Or you can, if you buy a hard top and you want to put a soft top on it later, you can order a custom soft top from Bestop to put on your Jeep. And it's not just Jeeps, Broncos, Toyota Land Cruisers, they still make tops for these old flat fenders. In fact, this flat fender behind me is a 1954, built the same year that Bestop was started. For 70 years in business, this is a 70-year-old Jeep that one of you is going to get to win. You can go to bestop.com to find out how you can win, but before we give it away, we're going to do a whole series of videos with this Jeep. To drive this 1954 Jeep? Well, it's a little loud. It's basically a little metal box. There's gear noise. There's noise from all of the gravel getting thrown around. It's definitely not a sports car that you're racing around in. It has a little four-cylinder engine and it has good power. It's not particularly fast driving up a hill on the street, but when you're off-road and you put it down into low range, it seems to just chug right along, no problem. It's a manual transmission, 3-speed. It's got manual clutch and manual brakes. The brakes work great if you're not in a rush to stop. The same as the engine works great if you're not in a rush to get there. But I can tell you one thing, this Jeep is way cooler than that guy in his side-by-side. Have fun out there. Bet you wish you were me. Actually, you could be me if you're the one that wins this thing. Driving around the flat fender is unlike driving any other Jeep. It's so fun. I guess the point of all of this is that if you're the person that wins this Jeep, you're not just winning a Jeep. You're winning like a whole new way to experience driving. loud. You're out there in it. You can drive it in the winter with the top on, or in the summertime, you can take your doors and all the top off and really just experience the wild of America. So hopefully next year we will see one of you driving this CJ3B after you win it at bestop.com. So we're gonna take this little Jeep, go do some four-wheeling, take some of our friends out, and have some fun interviews. Stay tuned.